Yep. So, again, thank all of y'all. I just want to say again that it's been a long road, but the family, my dad, obviously, all of those over the years who have put a bunch of time and energy in, and are again, praying, loving, fighting the good fight, and again, that's what this all is centered around. It's been centered around humanity. It's still centered around humanity, and we have to keep pushing that. We have to keep growing that. We have to keep educating people around, these struggles for humanity, because that's what it is at the end of the day. And it was a very kind of heart-moving hearing where my dad actually got to speak, and so a lot of people, including myself, want to speak for my dad, but get the transcript and you can hear it for yourself. And it's not me, it's not somebody else, it's not his writings, it's him telling you what he feels about his actions, what he feels ideologically right now, not what he felt 20 years ago, not what he felt 2 years ago, not what he felt 2 minutes ago, but what he felt right then when the judge was asking him, or Brett was asking him, what do you feel about your actions? What do you feel about your ideologies? So it's all in the transcripts. But more importantly, what's in the transcripts are the evidence that the prisons don't have the capabilities to take care of not just their healthy prisoners, they definitely don't have the ability to take care of their geriatric prisoners, and that they have effectively killed my father. Right. That's what's in the transcript that's more important, is that they've killed my father. The judge is shocked that there's a lack of care at that level. And so if the judge is shocked that there's a lack of care at that level, there's a lawsuit here, not just for my father, but for prisoners in general that have historically had poor health. And it's no way that system with millions of people can take care of them in any sustainable, healthy way. So again, that is there for you to look at. That is where our struggle is, because we still have a gang of aging and elderly prisoners that we have to bring home. So let's double down around what the judge stated, which was she can't believe that the prison can't afford health care. So let's go back and look at those transcripts and legally, spiritually, medically double down for our aging prisoners. Thank y'all again. Give yourselves a hand. Give yourselves a hand. Give yourselves a hand. Thank you so much. Love y'all. Appreciate that. Thank you.
All right. And not only not afford, but don't want to.
Yeah.
Not willing to.
Sir, my name is Brian Patterson. I was recently in jail, and
I got people watching who weren't watching Zoom. Can you just tell them what happened with the room?
Sure. I mean, it was a long. She took a lot of time to hear all of the arguments, and it started off with essentially the counsel, Brett Brody, communicating to summarizing what the petition was about, and then they heard from the family of the Van Collin family, their desire that he stay in the prison and that he die alone, essentially. And then they just gave testimony from a range of professionals, including starting with the doctor who provides hospice care, And, you know, she just explained what was needed for him and what she understood was happening, and that she's been looking over the case since 2019, and that he's not receiving the care that he needs in order to be able to die with dignity, ultimately. And then they testified that the Department of Corrections was not providing it. We went to the hospital. There was certain medical, like intravenous proceedings that were moving forward that he needed and that they had given him, and when he went, then he was returned back to the prison, and they weren't giving that to him anymore. And so it ultimately showed that they had only received 2 days of nutrition, and since like the 11th, I think, of October, and then they also had a psychiatrist who was able to talk about whether or not he had any propensity towards violence, whether or not he was psychopathic, and based on a number of tests, and he went over those tests, and then the judge reviewed that testimony, recognized that the Department of Corrections was not able or willing, was either unable or unwilling to provide the end-of-life care that he needed. She expressed that every person has the right to that, regardless of what they may have done at any given point in time prior. Whether it was 30 years ago or 10 weeks ago, she said that there's a certain end-of-life care that every person is entitled, and that the Department of Corrections should be able to provide that, and if it's not, then she had no choice but to grant the petition. And so, you know, she considered all of the arguments to and from. The Commonwealth also was very fair, I feel, and as she said, and that they did not stand against it at all, and also raised some of the concerns that demonstrated the reason why it was an appropriate petition, and so she granted the petition. That's what happened.
So he
is going to be going to hospice care. He's going to first go to a hospital, be assessed for what his current nutritional needs are, so that they can be provided. And then once that assessment is done, then he'll be moved to outpatient hospice care, where he will spend his final days.
Thanks so much.
My ACL, heroic effort on the football field.
Did y'all win?
Thank you, love.
We did not win. I got hurt in the middle of the game.
Oh, in the middle of the game. Oh, okay. So they lost because you got hurt.
I wasn't that far. I got surgery next month.